Once again, flying high at 68,085 feet. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition with the one and only Fred Dreyer.
No, Mike.
68085.
68,089.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's always.
I'm very sorry.
Always 089.
089.
It's all.
I forgot about
always.
the 89. Thank you.
Yeah, you're freaking me out.
6808. I just wrote it down wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, 5 feet at this height.
Let me get that into the
It's
head.
very, very critical.
Better radio it back into the tower.
89 and 85.
That's
is
different.
4 feet different.
68,089.
Feet.
Feet.
Not inches.
Not inches.
You made that mistake
that happened once before.
And,
we just crop dusted.
We got a lot of phone calls from people who took the tops, took the chimneys right off their houses.
We did. And the corn, we actually took the tassels off the corn while we were crop dusting.
We really did. Now, look, everybody's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, this fiscal cliff. I hate to fall into the pitter-patter and the banter of the mainstream media because it has been a concoction. We all know this. I'm going to go back over some things I've already talked to you folks about and that we've discussed and had a nice conversation and a few laughs over. But this fiscal cliff, this is the branding of the Democratic Party and the mainstream media of the Republican Party's inability to mount any type of narrative or any type of attack now that they've lost the election pathetically without a fight, without a struggle. And now we're stuck with this president who is bent on destroying the economy. And it's not an opinion or one's opinion or a party's opinion that this is the best way to handle this terrible inherited problem that we've had for the last 4 or 5 years. This is an individual, a man who hates this country. And I'm going to say this until the guy is removed from office. And what has happened over the last 4 years, going on 5 now, starting the 5th year in term, is short of our biggest disaster for this country not to understand what is going on and what his gamesmanship is. He has lied every time he opens his mouth and talks to the American people. The press get it, and they push everybody away, and they protect all of what he says. And he goes forward with his desire to crush capitalism, to crush the American way, to crush business. Many years ago, there was a statement made that the business of America is business. He's destroying that. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want rich people. He doesn't want rich white people. He doesn't want white people per se. He doesn't want the founding fathers who were white. They're slaveholders. He doesn't want any of the stuff that was America. He doesn't want it. It's revisionist history, and his intent is to collapse the economy. And the best way to do this is to lie to the American people that it's Bush's fault. We fell for that. Once the Democratic Party saw that the mainstream media had no problem at all in spinning anything, keeping the truth away from the American people, and then lying and fortifying those lies and perpetuating those lies through the mediocrity and the great grinding wheel of propaganda. Once they realized the American people were so asleep that you could tell them anything and convince them of anything, and then for most of the people, half of the people, 47% of the people anyway, who don't pay income taxes, you have been able to just push past them. You know, when someone stands up and says, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" You just take your hand and put it in their face and push them to the ground. That's what this party has done. That's what this man has done, and he's done it, and he's done a beautiful job. This machinery has done a wonderful job. You know, as they say, the old Seinfeld where Kramer now is in the dojo with the 8 and 9-year-olds, and he's pounding the heck out of these kids, throwing them around, and Elaine bursts in the room and says, "What the hell are you doing?" And he turns around and says, "I'm dominating." And he's dominating 8-year-olds. And so that's what's happened here. That's what you've got. You got Barack Obama dominating 8-year-olds. And if there was an adult that would show up from the right of center right, the constitutional republic right, the right that I'm on, the right that I think many of you would like to return to, then you might see some sort of a contest. And you might see some sort of a real fair fight. But that's not going to happen because there isn't anybody in the Republican Party that's going to stand forth and put up a real fight. What is the fight? To take the left's narrative of destruction of American standards and the Constitution and its way of life, demonizing wealth, success, business, and branding the Republican Party as anachronistic and out of touch with the people. That's what they did to Romney. That's how Romney got beat. I know he only got beat by, 450,000 votes, 500,000 votes, spread out over, 3 or 4 states. I know that's all true. But the point is that the Republican Party does not have an individual that will rally anybody. There's nobody to say, thank God that guy came along. Yeah, that's the guy we want. Let's jump on him and create a tidal wave of support for somebody where all of the base gets behind him, and the candidate and his I guess his support system, which I'd have to say, and I'm stumbling around for this, the GOP would suddenly, grow a pair and welcome a Ronald Reagan-like individual back into the fold to straighten this thing out, an individual that would tell the GOP to shut up, tell Reince Priebus, to go get a name change someplace, get out of the building, take every one of these cowards with you, and let this individual stock the GOP with true right-of-center conservatives and begin the march past the press to the American people. This fiscal cliff has been sold to people as a disaster. Let me tell you something. This country went off the fiscal cliff with the compassionate conservatism. It went off the cliff with the compassionate conservatism of Karl the Architect Rove and George W. And it was turbocharged when Barry showed up. And now what you've got is a full-blown disaster, and they're pinning it on the Republicans. What the Republicans should have done is just said, something, we're going to go to Hawaii. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Hawaii. And you figured out you do what you want to do. But we're not going to be branded as the ones that raise taxes. We're the ones that cut taxes. Now, when we come back, we'll get into this. We have some sound bites, and we're going to have, I think, a couple of cracks at the Barack Obama here on the first of the year of 2013. Do not go away.
It's the PM Show with the one and only Fred Dreyer. Email Fred incoming@crni.net. That's incoming@crni.net.